Hey guys, welcome back to my channel once again. So in today's video we are going to learn different perspective of Aster flower. These are very tiny flowers and simple to draw, I think, but learning different perspective of flower is also important. So I'm using this 01 and 05 gel pen, and I'm going to draw everything with the help of pencil. I'm going to create a guideline with the help of pencil, and then we can trace everything with the help of pen and do some extra detailing. So let's start with the first one. This perspective is the most simple one and the facing towards you. So I have created two circles, one smaller and one bigger, and then I'm creating petals like this. These petals are not pointed, these are little rounder in shape and very small in size. So you can do until here like this without doing any kind of overlapping of petals, or else you can do little bit of overlapping, like creating few more petals which is in between two petals. So more like multi-layered Aster flower. I think Aster flower comes in different varieties, so you can do accordingly. Now I'm creating lines in between each petals that we have to get some extra detailing into the petals, and we are also going to do a little bit extra detailing in the center part of the flower. I'm going to repeat this throughout all the flowers. So for the center part I'm creating small circles, and then I'm going to fill the in-between areas to get some negative space in the circular form. And this way you can get little darker shade for the center part, and then you can create multiple small lines around the ovary and dots so that you can see the petal area and the center part of the flower clearly. So in this one we have created two circles, created petals and the center part. Once done, let's rub all the unwanted pencil mark. The second perspective is facing towards the sky. So we need to create an oval shape in the horizontal direction. And then this is the base of the flower, and then you can create stems and leaves. Basically we are learning how we can draw different angle of Aster flower, but I'm creating all these extra things as well just to make it more beautiful. Even the Aster flower leaves are also very simple. You just need to create something like this. The Aster flower is quite simple to draw. So you can do some lines around the base of the flower, and then for the oval shape we need to create petals from base until the circumference of the oval shape. As of now we are not creating any ovary, we are just creating the petals, and you can keep it like this only, wherein we are not able to see the ovary at all, or else you can create a small ovary, the small center part of the flower, and then do detailing like we did for the first one, creating a small circle around it and creating stamens, lines and dots and all those things to finish the center part of the flower. Now repeat the same thing, add lines around the petals, and I also like to do a little bit of cross contouring into the base of the flower. So basically the cross contouring means creating parallel lines and cross line to get some extra shading. I have already covered sketching techniques in the previous video. If you want to learn all those things, you can refer to my previous video. Now let's learn the third perspective. This perspective is the back side of the flower. So I have created a round kind of shape, but little bit tilted towards the left side. You can do the same thing for the right side as well, or for the any direction. Base of the flower we can see, but ovary of the flower we cannot, because this is the back side of the flower, right? So if you divide this into 4 equal halves, you will get the center, and then you can create the base of the flower little in lower direction as compared to the center. Then start creating petals and cover all the circumference. And then you can create leaves and extra detailing to this particular flower. So again I am doing cross contouring for the base of the flower and then creating lines for the petals. Now see, the first perspective is facing towards you, the second one is facing towards the sky, and this one we are seeing the back side of the flower. Now let's learn two more perspective. Like this one is tilted towards the left side, so we are creating an oval shape which is more tilted towards the left side. Same thing you can do for the right side as well. So create an oval shape which is more tilted towards the right side. We are going to repeat the same thing for these two perspectives. The only difference is the direction. Now create the base of the flower and the stems. If you want, you can add leaves. Now divide this into 4 equal halves to get the center part of the flower, but the ovary is more on the upward direction, not in the center, right? So we have very less space from the center part and from the oval shape on the upward direction. So create your petals as per space that you have from the outer circle and from the inner circle. So as you can see, we have very less space here, so we are creating very small petals, and wherein we have too much space, we are creating little bigger petals. Now you can do some overlapping of petals, adding more petals in between two petals, and then you can create base of the flower, you can create stems, you can create leaves, and you can do some extra detailing around the petals and center part of the flower. So basically I'm going to repeat the same thing for this particular perspective. So the only difference is the direction, and as you can see, this is two different perspectives facing in different angle. Now do some extra detailing like creating lines in the petals and creating center part of the flower. So again I'm repeating the same thing. I'm creating small round kind of shape around the ovary, filling the in between area and creating stamens. These are very fine stamens and dots around the stamen. So likewise you can repeat the same thing for right side perspective as well. So now you have understand what needs to be done to draw all these flowers and to sketch all these flowers. So we are using different sketching mechanism as well. So until now we have covered 5 different perspective. Now I'm going to show you one more perspective which is again facing towards the left side only. You can repeat the same thing for right side, but I'm showing you only one. So this one is facing towards the left side. I'm creating the ovary in the center, but we can see only half part of the ovary like we did for the previous one. So let's create the ovary, the half at the center. Now I'm dividing it into 2 equal halves, and you can see the upper petals are in different direction and lower petals are in different direction. So lower petals are more towards the ovary. So in the previous one all the petals are directed outside, but in this one half of the petals are directed towards the ovary, and this small difference gives you a very different perspective as compared to this one. This is more tilted towards the upward direction, but we can see the ovary also. So this one is also like facing towards the sky, but we can see a little bit of ovary inside the flower. And then I'm repeating the same thing, creating lines in the petals, creating the center part of the flower, creating stems and leaves. So you can repeat the same thing. Now you have understood what needs to be done to complete a particular flower, and you can draw this particular perspective in different other direction as well. Now we have learned different perspective of the flowers. Now let's learn how we can create the flower bird. So for the flower bird, I'm creating two types. First one is closed one, wherein we cannot see the petals, colors and all. We can see a green structure. And in the second one, we can see the petals. So we can see this one is about to bloom. Let's trace everything with the help of pen. This one is closed one, so we don't need to create any petals. I'm creating lines and the base of the flower. I'm doing all these things with the help of gel pen. I usually try to create some smaller element with the smaller size and some bigger element with the bigger size. So sometimes it's important to have all these things, but if you don't have, don't worry about it. Just grab a normal ball pen and start with all these things, because learning is more important than beautifying all these perspective. So these perspective are very important if you like to create a flower bouquet or a group of flower. Please do let me know if you guys have any feedback for me, and thank you so much for all your love and support and watching my videos. See you guys in the next video.